A few years ago, a young man was driving through Texas when his car broke down. He called a tow truck and asked the driver to take him to the nearest mechanic. The tow truck driver was a middle-aged man who had been doing this for a long time. As they drove, the young man noticed a tattoo on the tow truck driver's arm. It was a large tattoo of a clock with the words, "Time is running out," written next to it. The young man couldn't help but ask about the tattoo, and the driver told him the story behind it. He said, "When I was young, I used to race cars. In fact, I was so good that I could have turned professional. But one day during a race, my car crashed and I broke both my legs. The doctors told me that I'd never walk again, let alone run. I felt like my whole life was over. I was only 20 years old, and I had always dreamed of being a professional race car driver. I thought to myself, what's the point now? I spent a lot of time thinking about how I wasted my potential. I spent all that time training and practicing, and in the end, it didn't mean anything because my legs were broken and I couldn't walk." One day, I saw an old friend of mine. He asked me what I was doing, and I told him I was thinking about ending my life. He didn't say anything. He just took me to his garage, and in that garage, he showed me a motorcycle. He said, "Why don't you try riding a motorcycle? You don't need to use your legs." Well, I did. And after a few months of practicing, I became pretty good at it. But I still couldn't get over the fact that I would never be able to drive a car again. Then one day, I met a woman who loved motorcycles. We got married, and she gave me 2 kids. But as I grew older, I started to regret not following my dreams. I began to wonder what would have happened if I had become a professional race car driver. Would I have won the championship? Would I have become famous? Would I have made more money? I started to feel bitter and angry about the situation. One day, I decided to get a tattoo of a clock with the words, "Time is running out." I got the tattoo on my arm so that every time I looked at it, I would remember that I wasted my time and that I should have followed my dreams when I was younger. That way, I would never forget my potential. After hearing this, the young man felt ashamed. He realized that he too had wasted a lot of time. He had almost finished high school when he dropped out to work for his father's company. He thought he was helping his father by doing this, but in reality, he was just working long hours for low pay. He felt trapped and hopeless. The young man asked the driver if he had any advice for him. The driver said, "You're still young. Don't waste your time doing things that don't matter. If you want to do something, then do it now. Don't wait until you're old and regret it like I did. You only get one shot at life, so make sure you make the most of it." The young man thanked the tow truck driver for his advice and continued on his way. As he drove to the mechanic, he thought about the advice he had received. He realized that he had wasted a lot of time and that he needed to make a change. So when he got to the mechanic, he left his car and walked out into the parking lot. He took a deep breath and started walking back towards the highway. He didn't know what he was going to do or where he was going to go, but he knew that he didn't want to waste any more time. This is a powerful story that teaches us the importance of not wasting our time. We all have limited time in this world, and it's up to us to make the most of it. We can't let our potential go to waste, or we'll end up regretting it later in life. The story also teaches us to listen to the advice of those who are older and wiser than us. Sometimes they've been in our shoes before and can offer us valuable insight that can save us a lot of time and heartache. Finally, it's a reminder that it's never too late to make a change. No matter how much time we've wasted in the past, we can always make the most of the present moment and move in the direction of our dreams. So what will you do now? Will you continue to waste your time, or will you make a change? Only you can decide. But please don't forget that time is running out. So start now.